Good day, sweet world! Happy holidays and welcome to the Starters Season So Far special. I'm J.E. Skeets and alongside me, as always, Tess Millis.
Season is flying by.
To my right, it's the Starters blog editor, Trey Kirby.
Hey-o.
Hey-o! And finally rounding out the table here, it's the Australian fact checker, Lee Ellis.
Girl.
Lee. All right, a slightly different show here today. In case you couldn't tell by our wardrobes, we're not wearing plaid. We're going to hand out some NBA hardware. Who gets our votes for MVP, Sixth Man, and all those awards. We'll discuss our biggest surprises and disappointments from the season so far. We have multiple top 10 lists.
We're going to see some great plays.
Including the top 10 dunks of the season so far. And finally, everyone loves a montage, us included. We'll get to some of our favorite highlights from the Starters show, the daily show that you guys check out every day, Monday through Friday. So an action-packed holiday schedule. Let's get right into it. Our first award.
Let's do some arguing.
The Sixth Man of the Year. So this, we're looking at who deserves your vote right now, not at the end of the year, right now. You guys can get in on the conversation as well. Hashtag the Starters. I like Markieff Morris. We got Tass going with Isaiah Thomas, and then Trey and Lee going with Reggie Jackson. Isaiah Thomas, Tass, isn't he a starter now?
It doesn't matter, Skeets. To be eligible for this award, you need to play in at least 50% of your team's games off the bench. He's played in way more than that. I just need a guy who can score and take over in the fourth if needed. 18 points per game off the bench. Kills all of your guys by far, and also leads in points in fourth quarter bench points. That's it. That's all I need from my guy, and he destroys all of yours in all categories.
Yeah, he was so good at coming off the bench that they've traded away guys and now made him the starter.
Yes, exactly. He's that good.
A technicality here.
Yeah, but it's upwards of 60% of games that he's come off the bench, so I don't see why I can't go on that technicality.
Hey.
Yeah, get your vote in now, because next time we do this, nope.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally.
That's
I mean,
true.
that's totally, entirely true.
Okay, so you're going with the point guard. Why are you two going with Reggie Jackson with the Thunder there?
Oklahoma City's bench is awesome. It's very deep as well. They're fifth in offensive efficiency, fourth in defensive efficiency. A big reason for that is because of Reggie Jackson and the numbers he's put up this year. He's getting 12 points a game, 3.5 assists a game. Now, those numbers are fine, but I look for more the confidence and the trust that he has gotten and he's earned from the coaching staff and more importantly from the senior players, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. They know when those guys sit down, the team's not going to fall apart on either end of the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Every time we see a Thunder game, when we're talking about it here, we're talking about the bench, and it's all Reggie Jackson. He's not just a placeholder for them. He comes off the bench, and he's legitimately a weapon. He's shooting that little floater. He shoots 55% in the lane on shots that are not in the restricted area. Only Brook Lopez shoots a higher percentage, and that's barely. It's pretty impressive that that is his shot. But it is.
He's going to be in the running for most improved as well.
Yeah.
I think
no
he's
doubt
gonna,
about it.
gonna garner some
He's been a
votes.
killer.
I'm going with Markieff Morris with the Suns, and I think it's a little more impressive because he is a power forward. So guys like the point guards you guys just named and guys even like Jamal Crawford and Nick Young, those guys get the green light to sort of shoot whenever, but a power forward has to do it within the offense. And he's been a huge reason why the Suns have surprised a lot of people this year. He can go for 25 any night, and you can now pair that with three guys, be it Bledsoe and Dragic, and then him that can go for 25 a night. So he gets my vote. A huge surprise. And his twin brother's not that bad either.
I'll say about this, because obviously you guys are getting on me that my guy has not played off the bench the last several games. He's got more total fourth quarter points this entire season than a lot of your picks playing far less games. That's how good he is, and that's what my guy needs. He just needs to come in and score a ton, and he is killing it. Well, not anymore, because he's starting.
Yeah, he's starting now.
He was that good, though. They needed to make him a start.
Let's hear what people think. Hashtag the Starters. All right, let's get to the Defensive Player of the Year. This one, unanimous. All of us going with the Pacers big man in the middle, Roy Hibbert. No real surprise here. I think a lot of people watching and listening are going to agree with this pick, especially after the first, 25 games of the season so far.
Are you guys like me? Do you have a big man bias when it comes to this award?
You have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's far more important. The back line is far more important
Agree.
than the perimeter guys because you can't stop the best perimeters. The best perimeter defenders can't stop perimeter scorers in this league. You need a backline defender who's incredible, and I think he does it absolutely all.
Well, it's just his impact and his presence there as well. And the thing I always talk about a lot is the shots that get changed that you don't ever see a stat.
Sure.
That he would probably average maybe 5 to 10 of those a game. And, whether or not they score on those or not, it's just him being there. It changes guys, their approach into the lane.
Well, field goal percentage at the rim, we're trying to evaluate that now
Yeah.
through StatsView. He is incredible at that. So he's affecting a ton of shots at the rim, and he's always at the rim.
Yeah.
Field goals attempted attempted at the rim, he's also up there because he's just there affecting everything.
And Indiana's, we're talking about the best defense in the league. Historically, one of the best defenses we've seen so far. And it's a big reason why, so it's no surprise. I can't believe none of us have said the word verticality yet.
Well, there's definitely some verticality happening, and that's a reason why he's so good challenging those shots at the rim. And him being there makes it easier for their guards and their long guys to challenge shots out on the perimeter, which makes lower percentages out there, too.
What about some love for another pacer in Paul George and a perimeter guy?
Sure.
Do you buy that at all? Or?
I mean, yes, of course, he deserves it. But to me, I would vote for Frank Vogel before Paul George because I just think the defense and the way the scheme is, Paul George does an incredible job on perimeter guys. But you saw against even LeBron James, PG can't take him, and nobody can take LeBron.
No, he
James.
can't take him, but he does pick him up, and he picks up Wade when LeBron's sitting down. So I definitely think he deserves some consideration because he's their best one-on-one defender in that sense.
But because they have Hibbert, the game plan is run those guys off the three-point line.
Right,
They're fine. You know, the whole defensive scheme is give them the long two.
Yeah.
You go ahead, you run them off the three-point line as much as you can because we got Hibbert back there to erase or change as many shots as possible.
And you think automatically, because he's a 7-2 man, that he can't really guard in space. You get him in the pick and roll sort of opportunity, and he can't do it.
Right.
But one-on-one, at the rim, obviously, he's 7'2". He's going to block your shot. He's second in blocks. But even in space, he's that agile. He's worked on his conditioning like crazy. And he can stay out there and stay with a point guard and handle a pick and roll. No problem. He'll bump runners or cutters across the lane. He does it all. And it's so beautiful to watch that defense work.
Other guys maybe in consideration here. Anthony Davis, who was injured for a little while there. A lot of blocks from him, of course. LeBron James is always going to come up when we talk about this. But let us know, hashtag the starters. Who would you pick Defensive Player of the Year right now? More awards still to come. But let's get to our top 10 list. And we've been spoiled so far this year with the amount of game winners we've had. So we've got a top 10 game winners for you. Let's get to it. At number 10, it's Joe Johnson with, this is sort of in slow-mo, slow Joe, I guess, if you will, against the Suns. He's going to go full court here, though. And that little hesitation at the three-point line, tricking Tucker into thinking he was going to pull up. And then finishes it with a beautiful floater. He didn't even care to celebrate. He was so tired.
He just got Channing fried. This one, number 9, Al Horford over top. That's a beautiful pass from Pero Antic just to find him. OT winner for Al Horford in the Fortress Phillips.
Speaking of OT, took 3 overtimes for this game to finally end thanks to Drew Holiday. They're just hanging in the air here after drawing contact from Taj Gibson, puts him at number 8 in this list. And watch him right here. He's almost going to get punched from his teammate Tyreek Evans. Whoa!
No verticality.
At number 7, Steph Curry against the Mavs hits his first game winner on the pump fake.
That can't be right.
Don't celebrate too early, though, Steph.
Yeah,
Game's not over.
He comes down to Nemanja Nedovic, comes and jumps on the floor. I mean, what is he supposed to do? He's going to cheer. Oh, yeah, the game's still going on. Let's go finish it off. They won, don't worry.
At number 6, Monty Ellis have it all, including this game winner against the Blazers, who everyone knows are a tough out right now. I love ones that end where you can just run off the court and that is it.
No points.
No points left on the clock.
At number 5, Derrick Rose versus the Knicks. Why are we showing
Is this year?
Who is that?
This just makes me sad.
Hey, who is that?
I thought this was supposed to be an upbeat show.
I remember that, man.
Yeah, he beat the Knicks.
That was Halloween night, wasn't it? At number 4, one of 2 great games we've had between the Warriors and Thunder, and this one is Iggy. Great play call, great shot. Place goes bonkers. The Roracle going berserk. Weird celebration, yeah.
At number 3, we've got a trifecta of Damian Lillard game winners. The first one is boring, just a quick layup. And then the second one right in the eye of Rodney Stuckey. And then on back-to-back nights, he hit another one. Back-to-back games for the Blazers. Foot on the logo, they call. Just a clear-out 3-ball. What a shot.
Back to the Thunder and Warriors at number 2. This one, Russell Westbrook, payback. Gonna keep the rebound alive. Cephalosha saves it. Look at this play, it's bonkers. Hits a turnaround from the corner. Incredible
Amazing
game.
That's not number 1.
I can't wait for these 2 teams to play a Game 7 series in the playoffs. Can't wait.
Well, we got to show you a great one at number 1 if that baby is number 2. And this pass coming from Jeff Green and the Celtics, hitting him on the other side, the skip pass. It's so beautiful. A bomb into the corner.
Oh, no time left.
Gerald Wallace, check him. He knows it's going down with a skip. Oh, yeah, just made a fantastic
Dwayne
pass.
Wade. That was Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, this only happened because Wade missed the free throw. That's absolutely right. So
Enjoying it with some Celtics fans there in the corner is Jeff Green, too.
Top 10 game winners. Jeff Green coming in at number 1. All right, we're going to take a break, but one of the things that makes this show so much fun is the interaction with you guys, the fans. So to recognize all the great comments we've received so far, we asked our director JD's kids, Lincoln and Jackson, to read some of the more thoughtful tweets that you've shared with us. So take it away, boys.
Starters on NBA TV. 4 white dudes that never played the game talking about basketball. Hashtag who cares?
Welcome back to the Starters Season So Far Holiday Special. We're handing out some NBA hardware, giving our votes to some of the awards. So let's get to another one. Most Improved Player, my most favorite award, guys. We all disagree on this one. I'm going Paul George. Tass likes Eric Bledsoe. Trey, you're going Xavier Henry. And Isaiah Thomas making the list again, Lee's pick.
Yeah, I'll start off with Eric Bledsoe, and I love him because he isn't just a winner who came out of nowhere. A lot of winners with this award come out of nowhere, but this man had expectations. We all question if Bledsoe could handle a starter's role, and he has very well. More than doubled his points and assists at 19-6. Yes, his minutes have gone up, but they haven't doubled. Per-minute numbers are way up, and a guy we didn't think could shoot, his numbers have jumped 44-49 in the field goal percentage department and on the defensive end. This man just knows how to get his nose deep in that defensive end, always working it on either side of the ball, helping out, rebounding. He's gassed. Mini LeBron is gassed on the defensive end every night because he makes sure he works it at both ends of the floor.
Most Improved for Bledsoe. Lee, why are you going with Isaiah?
Isaiah Thomas is going to win this award, Tass, because he's the most improved basketball player. His numbers, his minutes aren't up significantly, up from 26 last season to 30 this season. He was averaging 18 points a game before the trade. Since the trade, his numbers have shot up to 21 points a game, 7.5 assists a game, and he's shooting 47% from the
the
field.
thing with this award is it's usually a minutes increase.
Exactly.
Bledsoe is getting a lot more minutes, of course.
Sure.
Not playing now with the Clippers and getting starts there with the Suns. So it's minutes based a lot of the time. But
Isaiah's aren't hugely up. But the biggest sign as well, that the fact that Kings traded away Grievous Vasquez to insert him into the starting lineup. Now he's kept DeMarcus Cousins happy. He's got Rudy Gay there as well now. So he's got a big role, but he's still going to increase his own output as well for the team.
Trey?
Well, I'm a sucker for the redemption story, and that's why I'm going with Xavier Henry. He was basically out of the league, signed to an unguaranteed veterans minimum contract, and now he's starting for the Lakers. Obviously, it's because everybody in the whole world is getting injured if you're on their team, but he is really making the most of his opportunities. Just a classic D'Antoni reclamation project, and he played the 13 most minutes on the Hornets last year. They went 27-55, couldn't stick, and now he's starting. Pretty impressive.
So you're going the feel-good story. You guys are going minutes based there. I'm going with a guy who is taking the leap from good to great last year, winning Most Improved Player, and then going from great to elite, superstar level. I'm going Paul George again, making history with the first back-to-back Most Improved Player award. It sounds ridiculous at first, but then why not?
Yeah.
I mean, he wins it, like I just said. Like, he had a great improvement and got it last year. He's taken it to another level this year, and I think an even more difficult level.
Yeah, he has, but he would be the first player in history to win All-Star and then win Most Improved the next season as well.
I think you're just bored with this award.
Well, I hate this award.
It is.
Yeah, but I think you can make a case for him.
You can make a case, but I just can't believe they would give it to him 2 years in a row.
And his minutes have actually decreased a little bit, but his efficiency is just through the roof, and scoring-wise is crazy. But let's hear what people think. Hashtag the starters. Who do you like for Most Improved Player? I know we're going to get some votes for maybe Jordan Crawford, Aaron Aflalo. I used to be jealous of him, and John Henson. Maybe a lot of guys in their second or third year there.
Anthony Davis as well.
Anthony Davis as well. All right, let's get to Rookie of the Year. I know we have some disagreements with this one as well. A quick look at all our picks. I'm going Michael Carter-Williams, Tass, and Lee going Trey Burke, and Victor Oladipo, who was a big favorite coming into the season, is Trey's pick. Again, this is for right now. Who you're getting this award to?
For me, I go Trey Burke with the Utah Jazz because with rookies, it's about who can I trust just to throw into the lineup and play some key minutes, and I can trust Trey Burke. That's why I call him Trusty Trey all of a sudden. I'm calling him Trusty Trey starting today. Just throw him out there, let him run your team. He missed a ton of camp, and now he just comes in, and he's got one of the best assist-to-ratio turnovers in the game, and definitely for the rookie class at 3.7 to 1. He's got great form on his shot. He really impresses me.
Trusty Trey's great because he's only turned the ball over 23 times in his 18 starts this year, or his 18 games, 16 of those starts.
Just as a rookie in his first couple months. That's so
Jazz
impressive.
had one win before he joined them. They're now 7-11 since then. He's been outstanding. He's got very good composure on the ball. They absolutely love him out there in Utah as well. Oladipo's been good, but I think Trey Burke is the pick for me.
And he's already an average three-point shooter, which is great for a rookie at 36%. Solid number.
This rookie class has been decimated by injuries, right? Otto Porter, Alex Len, Trey Burke hasn't played a chunk of time there at the start of the season. Michael Carter-Williams, my pick, we'll get to. Yeah, exactly, goes on and on. But you're taking the one guy that has played all of his games for his team.
Yeah, and that's kind of a big reason why I would take Victor Oladipo. He has played almost more than 200 minutes more than the next rookie. He's, among rookies, second in scoring, fourth in assists, second in steals, fifth in rebounding, sixth in blocks. Basically, he does it all for the Magic because the Magic don't really have a lot going on. But he's managed to put up pretty decent numbers while staying healthy, which is more than all the other guys could say.
And he's moved to the bench recently.
Yeah, so maybe we can vote him for Sixth Man of the Year.
I'm going Michael Carter-Williams. I'm not going to knock that he missed a good chunk of time there with that bacterial infection on his knee because he was an incredible player, and he is because he's back now. He leads the league in steals per game, and I mean, you talk player efficiency rating-wise, he is leaps and bounds better than any of your other rookies, guys. I mean, he is very, very high, especially Oladipo. He's just much, much more efficient.
For sure.
He got off to a great start in this season. He's maintained incredible numbers. So again, I'm not going to knock him there for missing a chunk of games, but we'll let people decide, be the final verdict out there. Hashtag the starters, rookie of the year right now. Who do you give it to? We have another top 10 list though, because we love to look up in the stands when we're watching the games. Always point out the random weird things. So we have for you the top 10 fan moments from the season so far.
We watch a lot of basketball.
And the first one, look, it's an on-the-court moment. It's during the break at number 10. It's a Bulls proposal. She's a lovable dancer. Benny there tells her to sit down. And here he comes. And he's going to get down on a knee and say, baby, I love you. Will you marry me? And then he puts the ring on the wrong finger. So not off to a great start. But look at Benny pumped up there.
Benny.
Todd, get the champagne.
At number 9, Sir Paul McCartney just wants a shirt. Give it to him.
Give me a shirt on Paul McCartney from the Beatles.
You don't want that shirt. It's going to be too big for you. It's always an XL, Paul.
At number 8, it's been a long season, Knicks fans. Look at angry, sad Knicks
This is like the first week, though.
Yeah,
They
they're
just knew what was happening.
They're getting
Kids aren't
getting killed by the Spurs. His kids eating $10 nachos. That sucks.
At number 7, we had 2 Thunder fans hit half-court shots in back-to-back games in OKC. Cameron Rodriguez buried it on November 18th. And then Brad Brucker also won 20 grand. Great celebration, Brucker. And then he gets to meet Jay-Z and Beyonce. What a night.
What a night. At number 6, 11-year-old Pistons fan Antoine Alexander and Pistons usher Shannon Sales becoming
busted.
YouTube sensations for their dance
Kill
cam
him!
off.
Kill
I
him!
love this kid. I love this kid. He's
He's
got
so good.
moves. He's so happy, too.
At number 5, it's getting late in the game. Time to pull out the unbeatable, unparalleled free throw defense. You can't score when you see the full nipple. Can't score.
Impossible.
Did he hit it? Probably.
Probably.
Forever purple nurple. You can do there. At number 4, dude, we're watching, as I said. So you may want to wait to fix your junk. I'm
Hey, it's just a tuck, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
know
tuck.
the game was exciting. The game was exciting.
At number 3, man behind Mark Jackson and Blake Griffin. Probably doesn't know the camera's on, but he don't care. He's picking and
Knuckle
flicking.
deep. Knuckle
He
deep.
don't care.
Wow, he
In
really,
the Staples Center.
really got in there. At number 2, a feel-good moment here. Zach Randolph taking the shirt off his back and giving it to a young Grizzlies fan.
Way to go,
Amazing.
Zebo.
We should
Beautiful.
we should all do that at the same time.
Beautiful moment.
Zebo, great moment.
At number 1, it's not as beautiful a moment, but it's a great moment nonetheless. This woman gets caught pregame. Whoa! Grabbed her. Doesn't spill a drip of that.
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
Very
Drop a drip.
So there you go, our top 10 fan moments. All right, we got to take a quick break, but when we return, still 2 more awards to give away. But as we go to break, we'll throw once again to Lincoln with your tweets.
Is that the guy from The Hangover with the chia pet on his head? Laugh my off, the starters.
Welcome back to the Starters Season So Far Holiday Special. Skeets, Tass, Trey, and Professor Lee Ellis Can I get an extension on my psych paper?
Hey, I didn't know we were supposed to dress up like the Men in Black dudes.
Yeah. You didn't get,
You got me. You got me with that dig there.
Yeah, all right. We got 2 more awards to give away here. Let's get to the first one, Coach of the Year. And 3 of us agree that at this point in the season, it should be Blazers coach Terry Stotts. The only one disagreeing, Trey going with another popular pick there, Frank Vogel and the Pacers.
Listen, this is a great story, guys. There's so many good candidates. Got to go with the good story, the unexpected team. Nobody expected this. And I think he's instituted so many sort of culture changes with that team. You've got LaMarcus Aldridge thinking he's a superstar for this first time in his 8-year career. I think that's all coaching. I also think that their first place offense, them studying plays on their iPads throughout the game is a culture change, and just everybody sort of rallying around each other. The fact that they're this high in the Western Conference this early, it's a huge culture change. It's got to be for Terry Stotts.
Yeah, they've done a great job out there in Portland, and they still concede a few too many points in the paint, but it's okay because offensively as well, they rebound the ball well. They get a lot of second chance points. They're 3rd in rebounding overall for the league. And Terry Stotts has just taken this team from last year. Again, Portland have had potential for a long time, and now they're actually realising that potential. He's got Damian Lillard playing really, really well, potentially an all-star there, along with LaMarcus Aldridge. 2 guys averaging 20 points a game. That's a lot of ego to manage in Portland. You just look at the results, they're looking great.
This team is playing unselfish.
Very.
Definitely, I think, he's figured out this team's strengths and weaknesses to some extent. So he gets my vote as well. But you could either go with the best offense in the league, or like Trey is doing, going with the best defense in the Pacers, Frank Vogel.
Yeah, basically, great choices either way. If you're taking Terry Stotts, you're happy. If you're taking Frank Vogel like I am, you're also happy. And I just think what he's done with the Pacers has been just a tad bit more impressive because they've become a legit title contender this year. And I think that answers a lot of questions people had after they took the Heat to the Game 7 last year to come in and kind of prove that, yeah, we're a for-real team. They're kind of replacing the Bulls as the team who could maybe knock off the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think that's pretty cool.
It is. I think you kind of expected that with the Pacers, that they'd be up there, and that's why I think it happens even in the coaching voting that you get some voter fatigue, and that's why the story sort of surpasses the Pacers.
There is the no one saw this coming angle, for sure. Let's hear what people think. Hashtag the starters, Coach of the Year so far. Other votes, Jeff Hornacek with the Suns. I mean, 2 first-year coaches here, and Brad Stevens with the Celtics. Both of them have done great jobs and surprised a lot of people with their team's records. But again, let us know. Hashtag the starters. Let's move over to the granddaddy of them all, the most valuable player. Is there really any doubt? Can we make an argument for someone else? I believe we can, but we are all going with right now for LeBron James there. It's a unanimous pick for all of us. But again, you can start to make a case for a couple other guys at least this year.
You can nitpick with LeBron James because overall his numbers have gone down ever so slightly. The points, rebounds, and assists have gone down. He's taking less shots and he's playing less minutes, but he's basically the perfect offensive player because his field goal percentage, his efficiency has gone up. He's nearing 60 and 40 from the field and from three-point land. Nobody who qualifies for those 2 categories has ever done it. I mean, he's basically getting more efficient and better as he goes along. So I think you have to give it to him. At some point, there will be some voter fatigue because you can give the Coach of the Year to Greg Popovich every year. You can give LeBron James the MVP every year. But I do see people looking at the overall numbers, looking at the raw sort of statistics. They'll say, well, his numbers have come down. I'm going to give it to somebody else. And you can definitely make a great case for KD.
Per minute basis, his numbers are next to identical. And he's playing a career low, you said it, 35.3 or something around there, minutes per game. And if you look at winners of the MVP to have ever won it, playing under 35 minutes per game, only 2 have ever done it, Steve Nash and Bill Walton. So, I mean, there's a possibility if he sort of, they keep blowing out teams and he sits a lot of fourth quarters, he could fall under the 35 minutes at the end of the year and maybe win this award, and that would, be rare company there. But let's make a case for Kevin Durant, because I think you can, or Paul George, or LaMarcus Aldridge. Can you not after 25 or so games?
Kevin Durant, certainly over the last stretch as well, where Oklahoma City have been unreal. He's just been such a dominant player. And again, he doesn't want to be the second best player in the league, but it's kind of hard to put him ahead of LeBron, even though you're seeing the results out there. But he is certainly a worthy candidate. And if Oklahoma has the best record, and if he keeps up this sort of run, then definitely I can see him challenging for that title.
Yeah, but obviously the big difference between LeBron and Durant is that For as good as LeBron is on offense and as good as Durant is on offense, LeBron is still such a better defender than Durant is. He's one of the top 5 defenders in the league. We're bringing him up for defensive player there. You don't see that with Durant, and that's why even playing such a few amount of minutes, why he's still a step ahead from me.
Again, only at this point in the season, not looking at the end of the year and where records are now. But so if it's LeBron 1 and Kevin Durant 2, I'm interested to hear who, not only everyone watching and listening has at number 3, but who would you put at number 3? Is it Paul George, LaMarcus Aldridge, Chris Paul? Who do you go with?
It's a great race.
I'm going with Chris Paul myself, but I can easily see why someone would go Paul George. I just think he realises this is the time now where the Clippers have to make a name for themselves. And we've seen him this year be really aggressive and really take the team on his shoulders. And I think that he'll be in that top 3 or 4 voting.
So you put him at number 3, Tass?
Yeah, I sort of lean towards Chris Paul right now, but I wouldn't be mad with Paul George either or LaMarcus Aldridge there. I'm okay with 3 to 5.
Hey, they're all pretty good basketball
They're all
players.
pretty good basketball players. Listen, I'm not really that concerned with 3 to 5. I'm concerned with number 1, and I'm glad that we're all sticking with LeBron James because it'd be easy to get voter fatigue and not take him.
Let's hear what people think. Hashtag the starters, most valuable player at this point in the season. Another top 10 for you, and this one is a lot of fun. Random on-the-court moments, we'll call it. And at number 10, it's a favorite here on the starters. Anytime there's a wedgie, we show it to you. Yeah. And it's pretty rare to get the DeAndre Jordan oop wedgie. Jamming it between the backboard and the rim.
Shove it right in there. At number 9, we've got Kenneth Faried getting a massage from Nuggets trainer Steve Hess, who is really getting into it.
Hold on, this is a massage?
That's the new way.
Working him. He gives him the head bump a la Kevin Garnett into the stanchion pregame. Look how he gets into it. This is their massage / pregame routine, because basically he's just touching him in a lot of places.
Well, he's just checking.
You act like we don't do this before everything.
Frisking him there. At number 8, it's a classic moment from the season so far. Jason Kidd wanting to get a sort of an extra quote-unquote timeout, telling Taylor to, hey, hit me. I'll drop my Coke. They'll have to clean it up. We'll be fine. Of course, the Nets and Kidd got fined for that.
At number 7, Big Baby carves a turkey and goes in for the bite.
Who needs the knife?
Watch that knife. Don't give a baby a knife. Look what he does with it.
Nikola Vucevic doesn't want a half-eaten turkey leg there.
He goes and gets the skin. Watch your face.
That's a ritual in Orlando I love. Number 6, Vince Carter. He's a bowler. He's talked about wanting to be a professional bowler when his career is done in the NBA, and the form looks pretty good. He gets low there. It's bouncing. It's a basketball.
Bounces on there, though.
He says he averages about 170, which I think you're going to want to get that up if you want to go pro.
At number 5, we've got Nets players, including Brook Lopez, jump Pistons mascot Hooper. This is
a beatdown.
It sure is. And Hooper, realizing Brook's brother Robin was coming to town the next game, tweeted at him, hey, when you come in my house tomorrow, you better not make eye contact. Ask your bro what happens. Robin Lopez replied, you looking to get jumped again? Fair warning. I spent the summer with Liam Neeson and Harrison Ford. Hashtag Hooper about to get taken. And he did get taken.
Got tickles.
Yeah, Robin playing some congos on him there, or the bongos, and then steals.
That's my hair.
Yeah, he steals the wig that he was wearing just to mock Robin, and he puts it on his hair. Looking good.
Hey, free hair.
Robin, very, very funny guy. Having a great year for the Blazers.
At number 4,
Keeping it weird.
oh man, back to DeAndre Jordan. This is a strange one. Tony Roten just ripping the Los Angeles logo right off his jersey. Now, DeAndre had no idea. Blake sort of points it out to him, sees it there. Hey, whoa, DeAndre. Where's the Los Angeles? He figures it out. They get him a new one. Hardy har har, we're all good.
Laughs all around.
Gotta have a backup jersey in this league.
At number 3, Rajon Rondo sees the stat sheet, and he can't believe his eyes.
What? No.
Is this from the same game I'm watching?
I love
No,
that
it
one.
can't be.
How is that not number 1? And number 2, DeMarcus Cousins. 2 moments against the Clippers. First off, he doesn't want Isaiah Thomas touching hands.
No,
dapping
don't
with
touch
Chris
him.
Paul. They lost. Less than a week later, he's going to sort of accidentally take out J.J. Redick, who gets injured on the play. J.J., look, no hard feelings, right, DeMarcus? Hey, we're all good, right? No, get out of here, bro. And watch J.J. Redick's reaction. What is wrong with you, man? God. Just touch my hand.
At number 1, can we top these all? Gerald Henderson will try and do it by bopping a fan right in the noggin. Gerald, where are you passing the ball? Hey, you got to keep your head up at NBA games.
Your head on a swivel.
Oh my goodness gracious, got her right.
She was
in the
okay.
head.
She was
She
fine.
was entirely fine. Gerald Henderson.
Man.
He enjoyed it, actually. He took to Twitter afterwards. He felt bad for her. He nailed a lady tonight with a pass. If you follow me on Twitter, lady, please tweet me I know that hurt. I'm not that good of a passer. No, you are not, Gerald. I am so sorry.
I love the tweet. Gerald Henderson coming in at number 1 on our random sort of on the court moments. All right, we got to take another break. When we come back, we'll discuss the biggest surprises and disappointments of the season so far. And I have a feeling the New York Knicks are going to come up in this conversation. Don't go anywhere. You're watching The Starters.
If I want to watch The Big Bang Theory, I'll turn to TBS or CBS. These cornball lames, the starters, do not belong. NBA TV, go back to iTunes.
Back with the Starters season so far holiday special. We've given out the 6 awards, the hardware for our picks of the most improved player, MVP, and so on. But we still got a few more questions, some all-encompassing questions to get to. And the first one, it's pretty simple. Biggest surprise of the season so far? It could be a player, it could be a team, it could be anything you want. And it's a question we'll throw to everyone watching and listening as well. Hashtag The Starters. But who are you going with, Tass?
Michael Beasley of the Miami Heat. No one expected this to happen, not even us, because our podcast, our preview podcast, the question was, who will have a bigger impact on the Heat, Beasley or Greg Oden? We put Beasley in the same category as a guy who hadn't played in 3.5 years, because we did not expect anything. This guy was cut by the Suns in September. No one gave him hope. But now, in year 6, he's shooting over 54% from the floor, up 10%, nearly 10% from last year. That is absolutely phenomenal. From going cut from the Phoenix Suns, a team that no one expected anything from, to playing huge minutes on a championship team, actual legit minutes. No one expected that.
We did say, though, if he was going to turn his career back around, this
culture,
would be the one spot to do it. A team he already played for and was
Yeah.
familiar with, and of course, being a championship team where you can come in with your alpha dogs, your alpha males,
Sure.
there, and LeBron and Wade and so on, and have a role. So it is good. It's still a huge surprise. But what about you, Lee?
I'm going with the Boston Celtics as just a team in general. They've been very good this year and surprised us a lot, especially because they've got a coach who was a college coach last year. And we know the transition from the college to the pros often is difficult for coaches. According to ESPN, they have had the easiest schedule so far, but still, we know the Eastern Conference is wide open. But Brad Stevens has done a great job with guys like Jeff Green and Jordan Crawford, getting those guys to play well.
Absolutely.
And also, courtesy of John Schumann, this stat.
Schumann stat!
6 of their losses this season, they've led in the fourth quarter. So their record, they're actually below 500 at the moment, but you don't think a couple of those wins, a couple of those games, they turn those around for a win, and they could easily be playing 500 ball right now.
That's a good pick. Are you going the team route as well for surprise?
Yeah, I'm also picking a team, and it's a team we've talked a lot about because they've been great, and that's the Portland Trail Blazers. We did a Reddit AMA before the season. Somebody asked, hey, how do you think the Blazers will do? I said, oh, they're definitely improved, but there's no way they're going to make the playoffs. Whoops! I mean, who knows if they'll finish top 3 like they are now. They're 22nd in defensive efficiency, which is not great.
That's the worry.
But the preseason story was that they had upgraded their bench, and they certainly did, and their bench has been a little bit better, but really it's just been their starters are on fire. Damian Lillard's a lot better, LaMarcus Aldridge is a lot better. Batum's making plays, Wesley Matthews is shooting the lights out. It's just out of nowhere, their offense is incredible.
Yeah, you do worry, though, like the Knicks last year, who started red hot from downtown. If the three-point shooting goes away, how do they get the wins? Can they do it, defensively?
Yeah, but I think we can all agree nobody expected them to be challenging for the best record in the league.
No, absolutely not. A huge surprise. And I'll go with the Knicks as my surprise. We knew they were going to be worse, I think, than last year's team.
Yeah.
That put up a lot of W's, but no one had them going this bad. And look, they have been hurt by injuries. That one to Tyson Chandler was drastic. I mean, it's very important to this team, but it's just brutal all around. And the storyline, I mean, get used to it, get ready for it here, is going to be whether Melo opts out of his final year there and tests free agency. That's all we're going to hear for the next couple months. But the Knicks being this bad, along with the Nets, it's who saw that coming? It's just brutal.
All the work that Melo did to get to New York, and now if he opts out, it'll be such a change.
Yeah.
I mean, he really worked to get traded to New York.
Let's flip it up, though. Let's look at the other side. What has been the biggest disappointment of the season so far? I won't say the Knicks.
Unfortunately, I got to stay with this Knicks bandwagon.
You are going
terrible.
Knicks.
I'm going with J.R. Smith specifically.
Okay.
This man won an award last year.
True.
He won the Sixth-Man Award. He was supposed to be entering his prime here at 28.
Yep.
And he's nearly gone the opposite route of Michael Beasley. His field goal percentage has dropped 8%. And this is J.R., who never really shoots well from the field. Now, yeah, he had knee surgery this offseason, but it doesn't excuse him with a one-game protest where he didn't shoot the ball. The shooting is just unexplainable. It's really hard to sort of put your finger on it. JR is just not there mentally. I'm not sure. We all thought he grew up last year. It's really unexplainable, like a lot of the Knicks season. I can't put my finger on it watching this guy because really he takes his shots from the same spots, but he's just missing.
Well, interesting. What about you, Lee? Disappointment?
Golden State Warriors, the darlings from the playoffs last season. We expected a big improvement from this team.
Disappointed in the
I'm
Warriors.
disappointed because if the playoffs were today, they wouldn't be in the playoffs out west. I mean, they'd probably be third or fourth in the Eastern Conference, but I'm just disappointed that we haven't seen them really establish themselves as a true quality contender out west.
I hear you.
Andre Iguodala, of course, was their big signing. Now, he missed a few games with injury. But other than that, I mean, we've seen them lose games they shouldn't have lost. We've seen that great comeback against the Raptors when they're down 27 points. It's fun basketball to watch, but that's not really what you want against a team like the Raptors when you're at home as well. They shouldn't be digging themselves out of those holes. They've had to come back a few times like that, and I just want to see them now in the second half of the season or as the new year turns to establish themselves as a true quality playoff team, and right now they're not.
I'll say I believe a lot more things you say with that suit jacket on.
Thanks,
It sounds way more important. They're like a lot of teams, I would say, in the West especially, they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
You never really know what team you're getting. I think the Wolves you'd throw into the mix there. The Rockets look unbeatable one night and then they get killed the next. And I think the Warriors are sort of like that.
And their two best games have been against Oklahoma City, showing they can hang with those big teams. But then again, you know, they beat the Raptors, but they were down 27, and that's just not really going to get you far.
Okay, so Warriors disappointingly. What about you, Trey?
I'm sticking in the Western Conference and going with the New Orleans Pelicans, not because they're underperforming, but mostly because they just can't stay healthy. It kind of reminds me of the Timberwolves from the past couple of seasons, where you get excited to watch them and then everybody gets hurt. Started off, Ryan Anderson was out. Then once he got back, Anthony Davis went out. Tyreek Evans has been in and out of the lineup. Their Big Five lineup of Drew Holiday, Tyreek Evans, Eric Gordon, Anthony Davis, and Ryan Anderson, as of right now, has only played 81 minutes together, and they're scoring like crazy. They're an awesome, awesome team to watch, but people just keep getting hurt, and it sucks.
That's a disappointment. I'll stick with the injury sort of angle for mine. It's Derrick Rose and Kobe Bryant returning from injury and then just getting injured again. Like this is just it's devastating as a basketball fan to lose two of the best players in the game. Obviously means so much to their teams, and they both go down. And for a significant amount of time.
Both of their teams almost unwatchable as soon as they go.
I mean, the Bulls especially. Try watching.
No, almost.
The Lakers are winning games.
No, the Lakers, you can still watch them. And
They've got Swaggy P. The Lakers are always going to be fun where Swaggy P's
Yeah,
out
but the
there.
Bulls, you're right. They're next to unwatchable. They can't score the basketball. So that is, terribly disappointing. Injuries to both of those guys, especially after coming back and putting all that work into rehab and just to have your season sort of derailed again. But let's hear what you guys think. Disappointments, hashtag the starters of the season so far. One more here. Let's stop looking back and let's look forward here. Hit us with one bold prediction for 2014. Make it bold. Control B it.
I'm saying the Phoenix Suns are making the playoffs in the tough Western Conference.
Is that bold enough?
Yes, it is bold enough.
Reasonably bold.
Before the season, we thought this team would be one of the worst in the league. And if they make the playoffs, two of the Wolves, Nuggets, Mavs, and Warriors aren't going to make the playoffs. It's just so loaded out there in the West. Top five offensively, this is not an accident, folks. This is going to keep up. And they've got a rim protector and Miles Plumlee, something that all winning team needs. They may get Emeka Okafor back. I just like the way everyone is sort of participating with Jeff Hornacek. He's got this team going. And that's why I think they've won in all situations. On the road against playoff teams, at home, coming back.
A lot of close games.
They're
Beat the
great.
Blazers,
They're
too,
great
a
in
couple
close
times.
games. They've got the Blazers number to some degree. I just think they're great overall, and I just don't see them fading.
Okay.
They're sort of like a Nuggets team. They do it by committee. Like last year, that Nuggets team didn't have a superstar, but I think everybody's chipping in and will continue to chip in.
Okay, so you got the Suns making the playoffs. That's your bold prediction. Lee, hit me.
Mike Woodson survives this year as the New York Knicks coach.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's going to do it because he survived that 41-point home loss to the Boston
true.
Celtics. I think James Dolan's going to be sensitive to the more criticism if he fires him now, halfway through the season. And he also, I think people know, the Knicks have got a pretty bad roster, and he's getting a lot of support from people saying this is not a coaching issue, this is a players issue. J.R. Smith has been horrible for them. Carmelo's been good for them this year, but they haven't had any other support, and Tyson Chandler as well, being out injured, really hurt that team. So I think Mike Woodson, if he's got to this point, I think he's going to get through to the season.
There are a lot of bad teams in the league, though, with poor rosters.
Yeah.
When you lose by 40 points, that's when it it's like you don't have these guys
Yeah.
ready to play or caring to play. I mean, if you have a couple more 30-point
Yeah.
losses, then he could. I mean, it's a possibility. But, you're
I-
going to say he doesn't.
yeah.
Okay.
And I also wonder if Dolan's maybe looked out to see who would want this job, and people are sort of backing away from it at the moment because it's not a very appealing job.
That's a possibility.
This is New York. Anybody should coach there.
Trey?
My
Prediction time.
bold prediction, control B, is that LeBron isn't going to win the MVP this year. It's something we talked about in preseason, but with his team not having the best record even in his conference, and there's an easy case to be made for LaMarcus Aldridge being a huge deal for his team, Paul George being a huge deal for his team, I can see it very easily turning as, well, I mean, LeBron is having his greatest season ever, but he's playing such small minutes that it doesn't even matter, and he's putting up smaller stats.
LeBron doesn't win MVP. That's bold.
I know. I mean, we just talked for
Yeah,
a couple of minutes about how he's obviously the MVP, but then you go to NBA.com and he's not even on top of the MVP ladder right now.
Okay.
Kevin Durant.
That's bold. I'll make mine very quick. I'm going with the Raptors to make the playoffs. I said it in the season preview podcast.
That's not bold.
I'm sticking with. Okay, you want bold? Cliff Robinson, remember him?
I do.
Former Blazers Uncle Cliffy.
Sure, headbands.
I've got him winning season 28 of Survivor.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
I don't even know if he's going to be on the show. There's rumors that he is, but that's my other prediction. Let's hear what you guys think. Bold prediction for 2014. Let us know. Hashtag the starters. Got to take another break. Lots more still to come, including our favorite show moments, as well as these top 10 dunks of the year. You're watching the starters.
The Starters is probably the worst sports show I've ever seen. They're sitting there for an hour talking about tweets and Lady Gaga.
All right, back with the starters. 37 shows, 4 guys, and usually a whole lot of plaid. It's been a great season so far here for the starters, so let's look back at some of our favorite moments from the past 2 months.
Could you imagine doing this? Imagine this is your job to do every day like this.
Well, I don't
This
think he
is
gets
your
it.
job, Give us a real good Gustavo.
Gustavo Ayon. Let the rebounds take you over, Gustavo Ayon.
Thank you. That's what
Very
people
good.
want.
Gonna set this pick forever, Gustavo Ayon.
There you go, extended version. Hey, look, we're gonna get to the games from last night. There was 4 of them on. So let's go to the phone booth in Washington. Oh, I can't even see my notes here.
That's the one.
There we go. It is hot in here, guys.
That's Macklemore with LeBron James. LeBron looking at him, hey, aren't you on the starters?
I don't even have any idea what he's talking about. I don't see a resemblance to a single one of us. Among, none of us, I don't think, look like Macklemore personally.
Let's say I gotta tie my shoe.
Oh, there goes a
There goes
5C.
Paul. That's it. Hold on. She's okay.
All right.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. The phone works okay. Yeah, see, it's fine. It's 12:17, by the way.
Damn, Toronto Major. That's how y'all get down up there. And y'all was Drizzy saying start from the bottom.
Nailed it.
I'm Jay East. No, I'm not Jay Skeets today. I'm Russell Westbrook. And alongside me, as always, another Russell Westbrook.
Glad to be here.
To my right, starters blog editor, Russell Westbrook.
Hey-o.
Hey, yo! It's the Australian version of Russell Westbrook.
Girl.
Challenging the Heat in the East. Again, Bulls, not so much last night, but they're going to be in the mix. The Pacers, the Nets are retooled. And then out west.
Iman Shumpert.
Thank you.
See that?
Oh, I can beat that.
You got a lump.
Watch this. I've broken this finger. There's no bone in that finger. I am so mad, dribbling the ball as high as I can. I am so angry. So mad. Why am I not having a good season?
Come on, you got it.
Ray Ellis
file
believes
over
the
here.
giraffe is the most majestic animal.
Aren't they the most graceful animal you've ever seen?
No, they're not. I apologize to all the giraffe lovers out there, and especially Lee. I actually tried to get a "You Bet Giraffe" T-shirt. Couldn't find that, but we are going with this. So Lee,
Great. There you go.
And we're going to the zoo.
Great, I'm glad you finally came round, Bones.
Who am I kidding? I'm not angry. I'm scared. I'm scared that if I stop yelling and screaming, then people will see who the real Kevin Garnett is. I mean, I bang my head on a stanchion before every game. I am a 37-year-old man. Do you think I like doing that?
I did.
I thought you did too. Brent Barry, aka Santa Claus,
There he is here.
will enter the Bone Zone
These are empty.
to not only give us gifts but answer some questions. Yeah, this is empty. There's nothing in this. Come on back, guys. Back with the starters season so far special. One more top 10 list for you, and it's the best one. Saved it for last. The top 10 dunks of the season. At number 10, it's Pelicans big man Anthony Davis going high for the alley-oop. The extension on it. Beautiful. Gotta love it.
At number 9, we've got Blake Griffin dunking on his own teammate. That's how good it is. Ryan Hollins wants a better look at it, so he gets underneath him.
He should get an assist on that play.
Look out, Ryan Hollins getting on a poster from his own teammate.
There it is.
Beauty.
Put it up on your wall. At number 8, it's Victor Oladipo with the 360. You got it. It's not all about the power dunks on guys. A little flair here. Did he travel?
Always
Sure,
love it.
probably, but who cares? It's a top 10 dunk list.
Another rookie here, Ben McLemore.
Oh, nice.
That is sweet, smooth, all at the same time. Gorgeous.
He's had 5 or 6 great dunks from the season so far. At number 6, Paul Millsap is going to crush it on Jared Sullinger.
Trill sap.
Yes, he's the one that falls, but man, that was huge. We were there live.
We were there. We had a great baseline view of that, baby. At number 5, Gerald Green.
It's too easy.
Every dunk of his
It's too easy.
looks this spectacular.
It's like he's always going up.
He doesn't want to be known as a dunker. Sorry.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
At number 4, LeBron James is going to posterize Ben McLemore. He dunks on McLemore and Lewis. That is huge
Who's trying to take
from
the
LeBron.
charge?
He actually apologized after. He said that McLemore's a good kid. I wish it wasn't him. At number 3, it's Xavier Henry on Jeff Withey. Get out the Withey. Oh my goodness.
This isn't number 1?
Yeah,
Been a
'cause he
good
doesn't
year.
go
It's
after
been a
it.
good
That's
year.
not
He doesn't go after it.
Oh.
No block attempt.
Man.
Xavier.
All
great
right, let's
dunk.
get to the top 2. At number 2, Jeff Green is going to kill Jason Maxey. And look, I love when a guy just stands over the other guy that's
Sure.
fallen and sort of stares at him a little
And he
bit.
didn't get a tech for it. I like that.
Oh, left-handed too.
At number 1, this dunk has it all. J.J. Hickson all over Marvin Williams. The two-hander as Marvin tries to block it. He stands over him. Marvin falls to the floor on his back.
down, Marvin.
Ah,
That is a
my
huge
goodness.
dunk. Hickson
Destroys him.
with the dunk of the season so far, but you really could put any of those top 3 dunks in the number 1 slot. That's it for the season so far special. Thanks for joining us. Check out the blog, nba.com/thestarters. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, and we'll be back Thursday, January 2nd.
Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, shake your tambourine in 2014.
Embrace the new year, people.